doing a one-take drive talk in the Mustang, as I usually do. And today's subject is something that I've mentioned it in other videos, especially reviews, and I want to actually make one video dedicated to this single subject. Now, it's a car subject, so if you don't feel like watching it, go ahead and watch something else. But today I want to talk about cruise controls. Cruise controls should be a very simple thing. It's one thing with one job in the car. It's not like the engine or transmission where it has to be thinking super hard to do its job. But some vehicles are way better than others. Currently, we're in my Mustang, my 2014 Mustang GT. It has a drive-by-wire throttle, which means there is no direct cable going from the throttle body to the gas pedal. For those of you that don't know, the throttle body is what determines how much air makes it into the engine, and thusly the engine computer will then mix fuel with the air, put it into the engine, combust it, and then you have acceleration. Dumbed down version, but it's not as important as the cruise control that we're talking about. Because I have drive-by-wire, it uses electronics to monitor the air pressure as well as the throttle blade position on my throttle. It's a great thing when it works good. It's a bad thing when it goes bad. I've actually had the throttle body replaced on this car because it wasn't working right. But it allows for very, very fine control of your speed. I can accelerate or decelerate in 1 mile an hour increments, and it's very good about it. You can hear the engine go up. That was 3 miles an hour. You can hear it decelerate instantly, that 3 miles an hour. I prefer a smart cruise control system because I do a lot of driving. Now, for those of you that do all in-city driving, this probably doesn't apply to you at all. But for folks that do a lot of freeway driving or long-distance driving like I do, it is very important. I left Micro Center, which was 30 miles back. Since I got onto the main freeway, Highway 66 here, I have not touched my gas pedal because my cruise control is fast enough and smart enough that I can control the speed of this vehicle accurately. I always keep my leg in a position to stop the vehicle if necessary, but the cruise control maintains my speed. Awesome. I was going to snap, but my finger stuck. Other vehicles, and I'm going to use my father's Chrysler 200, and in fact I drove a 2016 Challenger RT with the Hemi the other day, and that vehicle also has a similar problem in that the cruise control is dumb as a brick. Dumb as rocks, bag of rocks, whatever you want to call it, barely works, okay? Let me explain how it works when you don't have drive-by-wire. When you have the traditional cable throttle body setup, it uses vacuum pressure to maintain your speed. That's why you'll sometimes see a little vacuum line coming off of the throttle body going to a little black box in the engine compartment. That is what it uses to maintain engine speed. This is not accurate in any way. It is horrible, actually. In fact, it's almost downright dangerous if you live in a hilly area and you try to use cruise control. Between Leesburg, Virginia and Winchester, Virginia is a mountain, you can call it, but over the course of about 6 miles, it goes up and down almost 1,000 feet. Because of that, when you're coming down it, your engine can actually speed up quite a bit if you have a slow reacting cruise control. In the Chrysler, for example, it's a 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 with the 6-speed automatic transmission. So it's not old technology. It's got VVT, for Christ's sakes. And coming down that hill, if my cruise control is set at 58, 59 miles an hour, it will let the car accelerate to over 70 before downshifting the transmission. In a manual transmission, it's not as big an issue, but in an automatic transmission, it is, because I'm going 15 to 20 miles an hour over the speed limit before the cruise control starts to act. And I don't know if anybody told you this, but when you're going around a curve down a hill, you probably don't want to be tapping your brakes at that point, because if you catch ice, water, whatever, snow, you can actually lose control of your vehicle. So I let the vehicle downshift, and it will jump from 6th gear all the way down to 4th gear, sometimes 3rd gear, trying to decelerate the vehicle. It's using mechanical deceleration. We'll do another video on that. Compression braking is not actually a thing. It's mechanical deceleration in a gasoline engine. Diesel semis can do it, but not a gasoline engine. Not nearly big enough. But yeah, back onto the cruise control. So you're all of a sudden revving your engine from 2,000 RPMs, which is where it is at about 60, to 4,400 RPMs in his car. Even that Challenger I drove had it. Not as bad, but it was pretty obvious. On top of that, your speed control is not nearly as accurate. When you push the up speed control in a Chrysler 200 like my father's, it accelerates 2.5 miles an hour. When you push decel, it goes down by an average of 1. That is bizarre, and it's not in any way helpful at all to the vehicle, because it's so slow in reacting that if I push it 3 times, now again, I'll do it with the Mustang, instantly accelerated. Didn't even hesitate for a microsecond, because this cruise control knows what it's doing. And again, deceleration, instant deceleration. The Chrysler can take 2 to 4 seconds to acknowledge the input and then start accelerating. So by that point, I could be launching into the traffic that I was trying to keep up with, or I might have to already start slowing down because traffic may have adjusted its speed, and I'm now going 7 to 10 miles an hour faster than I wanted to go. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, why would he gripe about something like this? Because cruise control is only one thing. That's like if you turn on your wipers and it maybe works, and then sometimes goes too fast, and then sometimes it just says, I'll just stop right there. You wouldn't deal with it. But as a society, we say, oh, well, I'm always driving in the city, so I don't care. You know what? When you spend $30, $40, $50, $60,000 on a vehicle, you should care. You should care if you're spending $15,000 on a vehicle. I don't care if it's a Ford Fiesta 1.0 EcoBoost with a manual transmission. I want good cruise control. And I think that we're at that point technologically where it's gotta be more inefficient to keep producing a vacuum operated cruise control system than it is to upgrade your new cars as they're coming out with a new system. And drive-by-wire has been around for a long time, believe it or not. My Volvo C70, which I rarely ever talk about because it was a horrible car and I tried to kill it with a sledgehammer, but that had drive-by-wire. So drive-by-wire is nothing new. Corvettes have drive-by-wire all the way back to the LS1. So it has been around for a long time, and that means cruise control technology can come along with it. Ah! So yeah, that's it. Give me a thumbs up if you like that video. I needed to make this video because every time I'm in my father's vehicles, I bitch about it and he tells me to shut the hell up. So I'm putting it out for everybody. And yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know if your cruise control works like that and what type of vehicle you have. I can have you subscribe if you like, become a Patreon if you like, and watch another video if you like. And as always, talk to you later. Don't know why I got loud.